Hello, everyone. My name is Taryn Retzloff, and I work at the NSAA. I wanted to create this video to kind of talk people through the process of NSAA play production tiebreakers so that we can kind of get on the same page as far as overall team placement and how that gets calculated. We've had quite a few issues this season, and it seems like we've had more this season than in previous seasons. And so I just wanted to make a video that kind of breaks down the manual, the play production manual language as far as what it says, how we break ties, and then define each of those tiebreakers. Away we go. The number one thing we have to do anytime we need any advice when it comes to play production is we need to consult our play production manual. And so to do that, we are going to go to nsaahome.org. We're going to click on activities, go down to play production, and then you will see that we have some play production manuals. And the manual you want is the 2024 or whatever year it is play production manual. So clicking on that, I already know that what we want is going to be on page 15. So I'm going to scroll there. And I want to read some manual language to you. All right, number 5 on page 15 states that ballots are to be provided to the directors of the participating schools prior to the awards ceremony. This is important. Our language for how we run play production competitions states that ballots are to be provided to directors of participating schools before the awards ceremony takes place. It's called the directors meeting. It's where everyone meets in a room. It usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes. And in that room, directors are given maybe a manila envelope, something like that, and it's going to contain a few things. It's going to contain all their ballots from the day. So ballots are, what the judges write on. So they're going to get all of that. So they'll each get 4 of those, 3 acting, 1 tech. And then they're going to receive a sweepstakes spreadsheet that breaks down everything over the day, like the final placement of the teams. And it is so important to have this meeting because the more eyes you get on the sweepstakes, which is the overall ranking, the better of a chance you have to catch any errors. All right, let's keep reading on our play production manual. So it says, if a rule violation or a scoring error is discovered, it shall be rectified prior to the awards being presented. So this, again, is where you catch any errors that might take place in a tab room. But it doesn't just stop here. So let's pretend that you don't have a director's meeting. The awards happen and somebody catches a mistake after the fact. We hate it when that happens because we don't want Team A to think they have won, to go through the emotions of being named overall, champion of the competition, and then later discover that they actually didn't win. And that kind of comes in more to play. There's more at stake on that, like at the district level, because, first, or if you're in Class A, first and second, advance to state, and everyone else doesn't. And so it's so important that we get these results correct. So if there is a scoring error that happens after awards take place, we still correct it. We don't do judge protests. We don't do anything like that if you're unhappy about your placement. But if a calculation, meaning somehow in tabulation, the scores of a team were messed up, that is fixed. All right, and then number 6 says results shall be tabulated as follows. And this is what I'm going to kind of break down for you today. A, the total rank given by each judge for each play. All right, so our manual language states that total rank given by each judge for each play is number 1. And then the number 2 criteria is the play with the lowest cumulative rank is declared the winner. The play with the next lowest cumulative rank is the runner-up, and so on. So if we look at this sweeps document that I have, and this came from an actual play production competition or festival this season, we see that play A is given ranks of 4, 5, and 5. And so that means their overall cumulative rank, when we add those together, is 14. Now, as we go through here, it looks like play D received ranks of 2, 1, and 3. So their overall cumulative rank is 6. Their overall cumulative rank is the lowest. And so in this bracket, Team D would get first place. Now, if we just continue this, we see that the second lowest cumulative rank among teams is Team E. They received ranks of 1, 2, and 4. 1 plus 2 plus 4 equals 7. And so this team would easily get a rank of 2, an overall rank of 2. But if we go up here to teams B and C, we see that they are tied in overall rank. They each received a rank of 9. And so right now, they're both tied for third. And so we have to break that tie. During a play production competition, there may be ties in overall cumulative rank. As we saw that there were 2 teams with an overall rank of 9, and so now we have to break that tie. And so looking at page 15 of our play production manual, we see that ties in cumulative rank will be broken as follows. And the first is judge's preference. And I think that judge's preference means something different than what some people think it means. And so I just kind of want to break it down of how we calculate judge's preference. That's probably the number one hiccup when it comes to tab rooms, is people just not knowing what judge's preference is and how we calculate it. So away we go. So if I come over back here to the sweep spreadsheet, we see that Team B and Team C each have cumulative ranks of 9. And so we have to break it up. And these ranks are all done by the overall judge. So we're going to say Judge 1, Judge 2, Judge 3. Sorry, my handwriting is sloppy. I'm writing this on my computer as we go. And so now we have Team B with overall ranks. So from the first judge, and then we can label Judge 1, Judge 2, Judge 3. Judge 1 gave this team a rank of 5. Judge 2 gave this team a rank of 3. And Judge 3 gave this team a rank of 1. And we're just going to hold off and we're done with that one for right now. Next, we're going to go to play C. And the first judge gave play 3 a rank of 3. Judge 2 gave play C, not 3, a rank of 4. And Judge 3 gave play C a rank of 2. And so we see that 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 1 is 9, 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 2 is 9. Okay, so here we go with judge's preference. We have to look at what the specific judge puts down for each one. So we're going to first examine Judge 1. So looking between play B and play C, play B, the first judge gave that team a 5, and they gave the play C a 3. Therefore, we're going to circle the 3 because the 3 beats a 5. Now we're going to go to the second judge. The second judge gave play B a rank of 3 and play C a rank of 4. 3 beats 4, so this team would win judge's preference with Judge 2. And then the final one is Judge 3. They gave play B a rank of 1 and play C a rank of 2. And so on this one, judge's preference would go to the 1 because it beats the 2. Now, if we look at this overall picture, you look at who has the most judge preference breaks. So play C won this ranking or the judge's preference from Judge 1. And so they get one little tally mark to their credit. Maybe I put it right there instead. Judge 2, however, rated play B above play C, so I'm going to give them one tally mark. And Judge 3 rated play B with a 1 compared to play C with a 2. So they're going to get another tally mark. So because play B has 2 tally marks to C's 1, play B is actually going to win this tiebreaker because of judges' preference. Here's another example of how to break ties using judges' preference. So this is the same tournament actually that I was using before, only it's the other bracket of the tournament. And so if we take a look here, we see that this is judge 1, this is judge 2, and this is judge 3. And so if we look at our overall cumulative rank, remember that is number 1 criteria that we look at. We add all of the ranks together to equal the overall cumulative rank. And so it looks like that Team F received ranks of 1, 2, and 1. They have the overall lowest rank, and so they received first place overall in this bracket. But if you look at teams D and E, you're going to see that they tie in overall cumulative rank. So we have to do what we just did for the other bracket, and that's to break it down by judge. And so we're looking at Team D and Team E. And if we really want to get fancy, we can draw some lines in here. Oh, I'm so fancy. Okay, so looking at Judge 1, Judge 1 gave Team D an overall placing of 3. They gave Team E an overall rank of 2. Therefore, with judges' preference for Judge 1, Team E beats Team D because they received a rank of 2. 2 is lower than 3, which means the judge gave this team a second and this team a third. The second judge, looking at this, gave Team D a rank of 1 and Team E a rank of 3. A rank of 1 beats a rank of 3, and so this team, and if we're doing our tally marks again, right now they're tied, which is always going to happen when you have 2 judges and you try to calculate judges' preference with a tie in rank. And so then the third judge is going to break this tie easily. So we go over here to Judge 3, who gave Team D a third and gave Team E a second. A second beats a third, and so this team would earn Judge 3's judge preference. So Judge 3 placed Team E over Team D. All right, so if we add this up, we see that Team E now has 2 out of the 3 tiebreaking for judges' preference, and so Team E is actually going to beat Team D. And so then the overall rankings for this play, so it looks like Team F received a 1, Team E received the 2, and we're going to mark this with JP because since they're tied, we go to judges' preference. Team D is going to get the third. Sorry, that looks like a bad 3. And we're also going to notate this as judges' preference. And then it looks like Team B received a rank of overall cumulative rank of 12. They will receive 4th. Team A had a overall cumulative rank of 15, so they get 5th. And Team C came in at 6th. So that is how we calculate judges' preference to break ties. Now that we know how to break a 2-way tie using judges' preference, let's now take a look at how to break a 3-way tie. So first things first, we're going to consult our play production manual, page 15. And it says, in case of a 3-way tie, the following procedure shall be used. Rank reciprocals will be applied. The play with the highest reciprocal total shall receive the next highest placement. Once the 3-way tie has been broken, the tabulation staff will break the remaining tie by starting over at the beginning of the procedures above. All right, so to break a three-way tie, we're not going to go with judge's preference. It won't work in this situation. We're going to have to look at reciprocal, which I think is a scary word for some people. Like, what? I don't know math. I don't understand reciprocal. But it's very easy to understand, and if I can do it, anyone can do it because I'm really bad at math. So, first off, we need to adjust what team F's placement is from our third judge because we need these each to be ranks of 7. Otherwise, we don't have a three-way tie. So the third judge, we're going to have them give team F a rank of 4. 1 plus 2 equals 3 plus 4 equals 7. And now we're ready to break our three-way tie. We're also going to get rid of this reciprocal because it's not correct anymore. All right, so reciprocal is all based on the relationship to 1. So we're going to do a little bit of dividing, but it's easy dividing. A 1 divided by 1 is a 1. A 1 divided by 2 is a 0.5. A 1 divided by 3 is a 0.33. A 1 divided by 4 is a 0.25. Excuse me. A 1 divided by 5 is our 0.2. And a 1 divided by 6, I never know this off the top of my head, is a 0.166666 repeating. All right, so these are our reciprocals. Now we're going to take our ranks and convert them into the reciprocals because it's going to give us an easy way to break this tie. So Team D got a third place from Judge 1. So we're going to turn that rank of 3 into the reciprocal of 0.33. Judge 2 gave them a 1, so a 1 over 1 is 1. And Judge 3 gave them a third, which is 0.33. So when we add 0.33, 1, and 0.33 up, we get a 1.66666 repeating. And that is the combined or the total reciprocal. All right, Team E, they got a second place from the first judge. So we're going to mark down a 0.25. No, not a 0.25. Taryn, what are you doing? They are going to get a 0.5 because they got a 2. And a rank of 2, reciprocal is 0.5. They got a third, so the second one is a 0.33. And they got a second, which is also a 0.5. So a 0.5 plus a 0.33 plus a 0.5 equals a 1.333333 repeating. All right, Team F is our last one. So far in this three-way tie, we know that Team D is going to beat Team E simply because their reciprocal is higher. But let's take a look at Team F. Team F, Judge 1 gave them a 1, so the reciprocal is 1. Judge 2 gave them a 2, so that is going to calculate into 0.5. And Judge 3 sadly gave them a 4. That is going to calculate into a 0.25. So if I add 1 plus 0.5 plus 0.25, I am going to get a reciprocal total of 1.75. Now that our three-way tie has been broken, because we know that Team F, their reciprocal total is 1.75, that beats a 1.666 and a 1.333. So we know that Team F has received first place, and then typically you see a JP beside it, but since we did reciprocal, we're going to put an R beside it. And then if you go back to our manual language, it states that our next move is to, now that the three-way tie has been broken, now we can take a look at Team D and Team E based on judge's preference. And so I'm going to delete the reciprocals because we don't need those anymore. And We really don't need anything with team F because we know it's already been broken. And sorry, I did delete that for. So then once we do team D and team E, we're going to again look at judge 1, judge 2, judge 3. We're going to make our little chart because we fancy. And then as we go through here, we see that judge 1 gave team D a 3 and gave team E a 2. A second beats a third, so we're going to circle that and give team E one little tally. The second judge gave team D first, so we know that that's going to win because first always wins. And team E a third. And then if we look at the third judge, they are going to give team D a third and team E a second. A second beats a third, and therefore team E is going to get second based on judge's preference, and team D is going to get third based on judge's preference. And that is how you break a three-way tie to then put yourself in the situation with a two-way tie and then break that using our manual language. When we have to break a three-way tie, we go to the second step, which is breaking it by reciprocal. But what happens if the three teams are also tied in reciprocal? So again, I have to go back over here and modify some of the rankings just to make this work for the way we want it to. But we're going to pretend that team D, each of these teams is going to receive a 1, 2, and 3. Ties in reciprocal can happen when each of the three teams have consecutive ranks, and those consecutive ranks are all the same. So if they all have a 1, 2, 3, if they all have a 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, and so on, it's going to result in a tie in reciprocal as well. And so first I just have to modify this. So team D is going to have a 3, 1, and we're going to make the third judge give this team a 2. Team E is going to get a 2, 3. The third judge is going to give this team a 1. And team F is going to get a 1, 2, 3. So again, each of these teams has a rank of a 1, a 2, and a 3. Which if we calculate, and I'm not going to calculate each of them, but I'll calculate one for you. A rank of a 3 is a 0.33. A rank of a 1 is a 1, and a rank of a 2 is a 0.5. So if we add 0.33 plus 1 plus 0.5, each of these teams' reciprocals is going to be a 1.58, which means they are still all tied. So if we go back to our manual, the next one to break the tie is the highest cumulative rating points. So that is what we're going to be looking at here. Now the cumulative points that come from a team, I think, is the most misleading item on a sweepstakes document, because people that don't understand play production, they go to these sweepstakes results to see how teams ended up, and the results don't make sense to them because one team may have a higher number of points than another team. And honestly, points don't matter until we get to this third tiebreaker. This is where overall cumulative points come into play. So just for the sake of our model, I'm going to leave all of these points as they are. Obviously, team 2, judge 3 would probably give team 2 more points than what they had given team 3. But let's just pretend that they didn't, and these are the overall cumulative points. Now is where we go to cumulative points. And I haven't changed any of the points on this. So this is the third tiebreaker, and this is going to break our tie. So because we are tied in cumulative rank, we're tied in reciprocal. Remember, everyone has a 1.58. Now we have to break the three-way tie based on cumulative points. So this would be very easily broken. Team F has more points, so they would actually receive the 1. Team E would end up with third. They have the third best points, I guess, and Team D would receive the 2. And so that's how you would then break it up if the teams were tied in rank and reciprocal. Then we go to the cumulative points. Another scenario I thought of is what happens if our cumulative points results in 2 teams being tied and the third would be off that tie. So pretend that this is the ballot. Gosh, I've modified the heck out of this today. So I'm going to pretend that Judge 3 gave Team E 59 points instead of, I think it was 58. And so that would result in Team D and Team E each receiving 172 points, but Team F having 175. So on this, if we were to do it that way, now we know that this team is the clear winner. They have more cumulative points and the three-way tie is broken. But we still have a two-way tie. Because we have a two-way tie, now we can go back to our manual language, which then says what is judge's preference. Because the three-way tie has been broken. We have one team that is no longer in that three-way tie. And we had to go from judge's preference to reciprocals to highest cumulative rating points to do that. But we have done it. So at the end of this, if on the very small chance that all 3 teams were tied in points, so let's just pretend all 3 of these teams, their points are 172. So they are tied in cumulative rank, they are tied in reciprocal, and they are tied in cumulative points. At that point, we can then come back to our judge's manual, and the 4th tie-breaking criteria is that all 3 judges are brought back together to break the tie. And the 3 judges, meaning the 3 acting judges, brought back together to break the tie. Now, if this process results in maybe there are just 2 teams that are still tied after it. On this one, if we pretend that one team ended with higher cumulative points, the three-way tie is broken and we can go on to our next step. So I'm going to pretend that Team F is walking away with more points than Team D and Team E. So Team F is going to get first, but we still have a tie between Team D and Team E. And so we have to go back to our same process that we did before. Here are our 3 judges. Here is Team D. Here is Team E. And so we have to take a look to see who wins judge's preference on this now that we have Team F out of there. So if the ranks were 3, 1, 2 for Team D, and Team E got a 2, 3, 1, we can see what each individual judge has done, and it will break this tie. So Judge 1 gave Team D a rank of 3rd and Team E a rank of 2nd. The 2 beats the 3, and so we're going to circle that one and give Team E 1 tally. The second judge gave Team D a 1 and Team E a 3. 1 beats the 3, therefore Team D gets that little tally. And then the third judge gave Team D a 2nd and Team E a 1st. So a 1st beats a 2nd, therefore on this, Team E would beat Team D because Team E has 2 out of the 3 judges' preference rankings. So on this, we would notate, we see that this team got the one on a judge's preference, and then team D would actually end up getting third, and team E would get the second. And remember, we'll also put the judge's preference after those notations. Thank you for watching this video over play production tiebreakers. Hopefully it shed some light on the process behind breaking two-way ties, three-way ties, etc., and provided a little bit more guidance on how teams end up the way they do. The number one thing that should always happen prior to awards is that director's meeting. And that director's meeting typically catches any tabulating errors because you have every single director from every single team looking at those results and comparing those results, and that's typically where you're going to find any kind of errors. So it is so important to have that meeting. It's an expectation at districts. It doesn't happen at state because we have enough people that look at those prior to awards so that it's a bigger surprise for all. But at the district level, regular season level, anytime you can have that director's meeting, it is incredibly beneficial. Thank you.